Hi all. So basically welcome to the channel. So this video is regarding the pawn promotion. So what exactly is the pawn promotion? Okay, I will be informing you about the pawn promotion from the white's perspective, white player's perspective. Okay, so when me as a white player, if my pawn reaches the opponent's last row, so I will be having an advantage to choose any one of the piece. Either it might be a queen, either it might be a bishop, knight, or the rook. Okay, so when my pawn reaches opponent's last row, so if I want to choose the queen, I can take the queen and keep it over here. Okay, so you might be having a confusion. If there is one more king, one more queen on the board, can I keep the queen once again? Yeah, it's possible. Even let's say all the white pieces, including this particular pawn, okay, reaches the last row of your opponent. I'm just placing it over here. Okay, at that time, if this is possible, okay, it normally doesn't happen, but let's say if it is possible, just to clear the doubt, you can even choose to have 8 queens, or else like 9 queens, including the one which is on the board. Okay, we shall just visualize it as of now. Okay, so this is possible. Okay, so this is the pawn promotion from the white as a white player. So now we will be looking the pawn promotion from the black's player's point of view. So let's say black player reaches the opponent's white player's first row. Basically, it's the first row of the white player. Okay, so now this particular pawn can get promoted to any of the either pieces. Either it might be a queen, bishop, knight, or the rook. Okay, so if the black player wishes to choose the rook, he can promote this pawn. He can just keep the pawn outside the board and choose the rook. Or let's say in place of rook, if the player wants to choose the queen, he or she can choose the queen. Okay, so this is nothing but this is called pawn promotion. Okay, so basically I'm just showing you the example like this. Okay, it might not be a same situation during the game, but I am just showing the example. Okay, so as I informed you before in the video, let's say let's assume, okay, all the black pawn reaches the last row of your opponent. So even during this time, this opponent, this black player can choose to have 8 queens on the board. Even all the pawns can be converted either into queen or any other pieces except the king. Okay, so this is basically the pawn promotion. Okay, so there is a local myth which says like, let's say this particular row here, when it comes to this particular square, so bishop is normally placed here. Okay, so if the black reaches got the promotion here, it can be turned to bishop. Okay, this is a myth basically. This black pawn, irrespective of any particular square, can get converted either into the bishop, knight, or the rook, or the queen. Okay, it doesn't depend on the particular square or the row. It doesn't depend. Only once your or the opponent pieces reaches the last row, then the pawn promotion happens.